interweb. Let me ruin Christmas for you. Before we get into that, this podcast is going to be on the Track Bangers page as well as the Black Video YouTube page. Also feel free to download the video or this podcast in MP3. Now, we need more people. We need more pillheads. What? What do you mean? What are you saying? Yes, you heard me. We need more pillheads. We need more people to be infected with the red pill. Do you want the blue pill or do you want the red pill? Now, the red pill is when you take it and you realize that the world is just a construct, that there's more. In other words, truth is stranger than fiction. Let me give you some thought-provoking information. Let me ruin Christmas for you. First, the word Christmas is a Catholic term. Now let's play with the word Catholic here there for a minute. The word Catholic actually means universal. All right, so what is Jesus? Yeshua Jesus, he's universal. He's Catholic. You're a Catholic. I'm a Catholic. But now here's the difference. It's Roman Catholic. So when we talk about Roman Catholic, there we are referring to the Roman Catholic Church. So the word Christmas. Now the word Christmas is the Mass of Christ. Now, you actually have some churches, some preachers, some people that they don't support Halloween, but yet during Christmas time, they'll put up a tree. During Christmas time, they're okay with Christmas because it's the birth of Jesus, right? Isn't that cute? Isn't that the birth of Jesus? So they hate Halloween, but they'll support Christmas because it's our Savior's birthday. Well, that's hullabaloo. That's what it is. That's a bunch of crap because it's not Jesus' birthday and Jesus is not even his name. What? That's right. Jesus is not even his name. And he wasn't even born on Christmas, on the Mass of Christ. Apostle Paul tells us in the Bible, can't really remember the exact chapter, but later I might get it or whatever. But Apostle Paul, he tells us, what does Jesus have to do with Baal? Jesus has nothing to do with Christmas. Now, back to what his name was. Jesus is his name. Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go. Everybody brace yourself. It's Joshua. You mean it's not Jesus? No, it's not Jesus. Because we have that because of the Greek translations. It's anybody just get you a book of Strong's. Yes, I'm pretty sure there's theologians listening to this podcast. Just look it up. It tells you it's Jesus or Joshua. See, the Hebrews, in the Hebraic alphabet, there are no J's. So you would say Yahshua or Yeshua, like that, because there's no J's. And that's how we ended up, with Jesus, which is Jose. So, yeah. So there's that. His name is not even, that's why I always say Yeshua, because his name is not Jesus. If you want to be English about it, you can say Joshua. I'm getting a little off. I like ruining your theology. And I like ruining Christmas for you all. Isn't that cute? Did you like that? My little Santa Claus there. So anyway, so let's see where to begin. All right, first, the early church. Well, should we even get into early church right now? No, let's touch on the early church. We'll touch on it in a minute. Those hypocrites, devil-worshipping. So anyway, now let's talk about the wreaths that we hang on the door. That, people, they go, there's some people, man, they go all out for Christmas and they do so wreaths. Let's start with that. The Vikings, they would take the wreaths and they would set them on fire and roll them down a hill. That would symbolize the rebirth of the sun god Horus. Now then you have here's what's cool, Thor. We're going to talk more about Thor and Odin here in a minute. But Thor, he drove a, now this is in Norse mythology. Thor, he drove a sleigh that was pulled by fire-breathing goats. Yes, that is heavy metal. I mean, how much metal can you get? I mean, Vikings rock. Right? I mean, that's cool. So anyway, yeah, Thor, he drove a sleigh that was pulled by fire-breathing goats. One neat thing is, I mean, a lot of partying, man, during this time. You know, the Middle Ages, the Vikings, they would send a lot of drinking, lots of drinking. They would even spill some of their liquor on the floor in remembrance of Odin, you know. And but they would give each other like salted meats. Yum, sounds good, delicious. Now, let's get to the early church. The early church, they loved it so much. They loved it. They just said, hey guys, let's just make Jesus born on December 25th. Hey, let's, you know, because the early church, they couldn't turn from their pagan ways. They couldn't turn. So they wanted to be a part of this. They just loved the party and all this huge party. It was more. It was the Yule season was much longer than what it is today. We have it like a month. I mean, these cats partied like 3 months, very long time. And so the early church are like, hey, Jesus is born on December 25th. Who is born on December 25th? Horus, the sun god. Goes back to the wreaths rolling down the hill. They set them on fire, roll them down the hill. That symbolized the rebirth of the sun god. All right, so the winter solstice, that is coming up, if I'm not mistaken, December the 22nd. You know, so Christmas, the Mass of Christ, it has nothing to do with Jesus at all. If anything, this time of year, I mean, it's very pagan. It's very pagan. Me, now, you know, I love the Yule season. I mean, it's a very cool thing. And we, me and Jonathan, we love the Krampus. Hey, if you don't know who the Krampus is, you need to watch the Krampus movie. It's a cool movie. But over in Bavaria, they have a Krampus parade where everybody dresses up like Krampus, the Christmas demon, and they march through the streets. And, you know, the Krampus, he's the Christmas demon, and he deals with the bad children. The Krampus deals with the bad children. He beats them with sticks. He puts them in his sack. So, I mean, hey, if you have been bad, you're not getting coal. You're going to get scolded by the Krampus. You know, Krampus, the Christmas demon. Now, what happens with the good little boys? Well, Odin, let's talk about Odin for a minute. He's the one, he checks out, see who's naughty and see who's nice. Odin, because he's constantly traveling through the earth and the other worlds, 9 worlds if I'm not mistaken, according to Norse mythology. And see, you know, checking out on the people he likes, checking in on everything. Odin is the all-seeing God. Yes, Odin, he's the all-seeing God. Now, as you can see here, the illustrations and things, right here, everybody, right here is your Santa Claus, is Odin. And who is the son of Odin? Thor, who drives the sleigh, the fire-breathing goats. Odin also has elves. That's right, yes he does, and they make gifts. That's right, so the truth of the matter is, kiddies, people of the world, people where I live, it's all about Odin and Vikings and heavy metal and fire-breathing goats. That's right, it has nothing to do with the Savior, Yeshua. Because what does Yeshua have to do with Baal? Right? Right? But I tell you, this time of year, hey, it's a heavy metal time of year, right? All right, now, let's talk about the modern Santa Claus. Modern Santa Claus, the modern Christmas. believe it or not, this started around the 1920s with Coca-Cola. So you can thank Coca-Cola for having to spend all your money on Christmas time for this. It was Coca-Cola. So the whole modern Christmas thing with the gifts and the presents and fat Santa Claus with his reindeer and his sack full of gifts and cute little elves and Christmas movies. It was like in the 1920s with Coca-Cola. So yeah, so not only is Coca-Cola great to drink, they gave you Christmas. So there you have it. I just ruined Christmas for you.